Hey, I'm Sheniece Charway, and welcome to Battles and Blessings, the podcast where we take a deep dive into the extraordinary journeys of today's most influential voices. I created this podcast because I believe that everyone's lives, just like the biblical figures, are marked by both battles and blessings. On this podcast, you'll hear some powerful stories that will challenge and uplift you. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome to Battles and Blessings. We have a very, very special guest today, Maleek Berry. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. Enjoying the grey London mornings.
I know,
Just
right?
recovering from my gym session this morning. So,
But it's good that you went,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that is
I
one
marked the
thing.
register today.
Exactly. Thank you for coming today. I'm really excited to have you on. I'm going to
Thank you.
do a quick intro for those people that don't know you. But today we are joined by the amazing Maleek Berry, South London-born songwriter, singer, producer, and one of the pioneers of Afro R&B. Known for shaping his global hits from artists like Wizkid and Davido, he's now stepping into a bold new chapter with his debut album, If Only Love Was Enough, a genre-blending, emotional journey that's as much about the legacy as it is about the hits. So congratulations on the new album.
Oh, that's a good intro. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll get into the process of that.
Yeah.
But let's take it back. A lot of people don't actually know that you're from Clapham in South London.
Right.
Yeah. How was that growing up and what the influences you have around you, especially with music?
Yeah, man. Clapham. I mean, the time that I grew up in Clapham was very different from Clapham now.
Yeah.
Clapham in general has always been a nice area though, because we've got we've got the Battersea,
Yeah.
so nice surrounding areas, right? And Clapham North Side and stuff like that. Then we're not too far from Chelsea, but the part of Clapham that I was in was different. So I grew up the first part of the earliest part of my childhood, the side of Clapham that I grew up around was Clapham Park.
Yeah.
So it's not Clapham Common, like the nice side. This is Clapham Park,
Yeah.
pointers hidden from everywhere. It's like the real inner city. So yeah, it was interesting. I grew up around a lot of Caribbeans. I was sort of exposed to that culture very early on.
Yeah.
I wasn't around a lot of Africans in school. It wasn't necessarily the coolest thing to be African back in the day.
Quickly. Yeah.
But it was amazing. Like I grew up around a lot of love. I enjoyed my childhood. It was dangerous, but it was fun. And I feel like those, early days shaped a lot of, my inspiration, because you gotta understand, growing up in that area, I'm surrounded by the reggae, so the sound system culture.
Yep.
Then you've got the garage grime culture. I'm exposing how old I am now. You got the garage grime culture, you've got all of that. I mean, So Solid was literally from down the road. They were from Clapham Junction and Battersea. So you had those guys becoming superstars and all of us in the area looking up to them, just, knowing that, something like this is possible for us.
Yeah, which is amazing that you had all those surrounded areas, but also all the influences.
Yeah.
What was the moment you were like, I want to get into music? Did you grow up in church? Was it anything that allowed you to be like, okay, I want to now start doing music?
Right. It was definitely the church thing.
Yeah.
It was definitely church. I've always been into music. So I mean, when I was a baby, apparently I was dancing. I already knew how to dance like Michael Jackson.
Oh, I knew.
By the time I was 4. I'm not bragging, but yeah. So I would literally sit in front of the TV and watch Michael Jackson Motown at 25, back to back to back to back, apparently.
Wow.
And that was when my passion, for music started. I always knew that I wanted to be a musician.
Yep.
But I didn't know in which capacity I wanted to go into the industry with. I never really wanted to be an artist at the beginning, if I'm being, I don't know. Maybe it's just my recluse nature. But ever since I was young, I always knew I wanted to create music, but not necessarily be an artist. And it wasn't until how old was that? Maybe 13, 14.
Yeah.
Me and my friend started a rap group in church. And I was the one that was producing most of the beats. And I feel that was like the birth of like my passion and yeah.
Wow. How was that creating a rap group in church? How was
It was an interesting time because there was I mean, it wasn't unique. So there were like other rap groups and other churches, right? So it was how could I explain it? You know, you had, I don't know if you remember like G-Force.
Yeah.
Like they used to go to KICC, big up G-Force, right?
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of, there was IC and they were from, I think, what's the name of that church again? Jesus House or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. In North London.
Yeah, Jesus House, yeah.
I have a lot of friends there. So like we used to go to like different churches and perform. It was like,
oh wow,
Tory, yeah. Do you understand? And I think for me, before I started producing the songs for the group, right, there was something happened. So we performed, it was like a church conference, big church conference, we performed, and this is when we were just freestyling over instrumentals. And I remember coming off stage, right, and finishing the performance, and this uncle comes up to me and he's like, yeah, Maleek, you know, the performance was nice, you know,
nice.
But that beats that he was using, that beats, I know that beats. It sounds like Nas. It sounds like a Nas beats. I said, uncle, you know, I don't make beats, you know, we're just rapping over instrumentals. So obviously, it wasn't like a telling off, but it was like, you know what? You can go about it this way.
Yeah.
If you learn how to make your own beats, number one, you'll be unique. And number two, you won't have to like use quote unquote secular music in church or whatever. Yeah. And a light bulb moment went off for me. And I just started like, went back to my room, downloaded Fruity Loops, and rest is history.
Wow. So that uncle was definitely what I would call a destiny helper.
Yeah.
Especially because he was in church as well, and he was telling you
100%
that you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
So he kind of gave you the confidence to.
Yeah, no, he gave me the full confidence boost. After that, I felt like, why didn't I start doing this before? You know, because I'm very good at, how could I put it? Like spotting things before they get really popular or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know, I was a bit upset with myself. Like I didn't think about that before he told me.
Yeah.
But you need people in your life to be able to, you know, that can see ahead and give you advice and stuff like that. And it was a blessing to have him.
Which is amazing. And I love that you were able to recognize, you know what, I can do it.
Yeah.
Because what gave you the confidence? I know he told you, but what take you the leap to be like, okay, I'm gonna now produce?
I think it was, so I grew up, yes, I had influences that were artists, right?
Yeah.
But I grew up idolizing people like Rodney Jerkins, people like Pharrell, people like, you know, Swiss Beats, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, you know, Teddy Riley. I could go on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I wanted to be like those guys. I wanted to be, like I just admired like a dark child, Rodney Jerkins, being so successful, but being just anonymous. Like, do you understand? You walk down the road, you might not know who he is, but he's produced some of the biggest hits in the world. And I think that was the first thing that drew me to, okay, you know what? I can go down this lane or whatever. So I think seeing those guys and looking up to those guys, that gave me a little bit of confidence. And obviously you had the producers in the UK at the time as well. All the guys producing for So Solid. And you had, you know, Wiley, come on.
So it was a lot. Do you remember producing your first song?
I know the beat was trash. I definitely know the beat was trash. But yeah, I remember the first beat I made. Yeah. I remember the first beat I made.
I'm gonna find it. I want you to find it.
Yeah, I hope I don't find it. I think the hard drive is even corrupt, which is good.
You're like, can't find it. So you had all this influence in the UK, right? You did a big move in 2011 to Lagos.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
So I mean, that trip was, it wasn't, the purpose of the trip originally wasn't music, right?
Okay.
It was a family holiday. And but you know, me at the time, like I said, I always know what I want, right?
Yeah.
So my plan was to, yes, it was a family holiday. I'll spend time with my family, but I knew I was going there for music. Like I knew I was I knew that this was, because prior to that 2011 trip, I hadn't gone back since I was like a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'd missed a lot of like the experience that a lot of like my peers in the industry have, like growing up in Nigeria, they may be coming out here and going to school. I went to school here.
Yeah.
So at first, even fitting into the culture over there was a bit difficult for me because, you know, when I first started coming back, I used to get called Ajebota. And Ajebota is just like, how could I put it?
English boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
English boy, right? And so I had to do a lot of not fitting in. I was being myself, right? But it took a lot to just adapt, basically. But the good thing is, and I'm getting to that, right? Which is what drew a lot of these artists that I ended up connecting with to me.
Yep.
Was the way I was able to like blend the sounds and blend all of the worlds that I grew up listening to. So this guy's coming from London, but he can make a little bit, he can mix his sound of Afro and he can mix it with R&B. I was doing all this stuff back then.
Wow.
So fast forward, you know, I have a studio session with Davido, right? And he's not, yes, he's Davido, but he's not as big as he is now, or he wasn't like, he only had maybe like a couple thousand YouTube views then, right? Got connected to him through one of his cousins that at the time I went to school with. And man, I remember when we first met, straight away I just knew that, okay, yeah, this guy's going to be a star. Straight away I just knew because of his energy, right? And just his passion, and he loved music so much. So I remember there was one session that we had, and this life is just so funny because, I mean,
the way everything just aligned.
Yeah, I think that was the first session or the second session that we had in that particular studio, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, I thought nothing of it. We just finished recording. You know, they had, and this is just to let you know how supportive this guy's dad was from the very beginning. He had like his whole compound, like a whole compound, and there was like a studio just built for him how many years ago, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, we're just chilling on the compound, and this drop top comes in, right, through the gate. When you can't really see who's in the car, there's loud music blasting. You can already feel the aura, right? So anyways, the car pulls up close to where we're sitting down.
Yeah.
And obviously Wiz just hops out the drop top, hops out the car like a movie star.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my days. I didn't even know this guy was coming today.
Oh, so you had no clue?
That was my first time ever meeting him, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And first thing, Davido like introduced us. Bear in mind, Wiz is already a superstar these times. Like he's already like Don Doll.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say it's a Don Doll days.
He's already Starboy always. So I remember that day, you know, I played him like 3-4 beats. And that same day, he jumped on those 3-4 beats, like recorded songs. And that was when I knew that, yeah, you know what? Like this kind of thing doesn't happen to me like that. Or it doesn't happen like that where artists record songs the same day on beats that I produce. So I already knew that our chemistry was gonna like, you know, was meant to be.
Yeah, it wasn't a one-off.
It wasn't a one-off. And yeah, from there, the rest was history, man. You know, kept the relationship with him, and he was like, "Look, man, you know, I've got this thing that I'm working on, Starboy, and you know, like, I just have a vision of where I want to take it." And I was there to, you know, come on board and build with him. And at the time, we made some serious music.
Yeah, because how long were you in Nigeria then? In the end,
about 6 weeks. So I got a lot done.
Yeah,
during that
6
weeks. I produced like I left like a bunch of beats on Davido's hard drive at the time before I left. I think like maybe like 30, 40 beats or something.
Wow.
And one of them ended up being Carolina by Davido and Sinzu.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just for that one trip that was supposed to be a holiday trip.
Life-changing.
How did you immerse yourself in Nigerian scene and music whilst you were there? Because obviously that happened.
Do you know what? I think, so when I left,
Yeah.
I didn't go back again until 2013. So I'd already built, like, after that trip,
Yeah.
that was like the genesis of me connecting to everybody. So from there, I started connecting with like other artists. So Nato C,
Yeah.
Wande Cole, and just started building my relationships outside of Wizkid and David, right?
Yeah.
Because I just knew that, you know, if I'm gonna be around in this game for a long time, relationships are important.
So important, yeah.
I knew it was more than my talent, and that was what I set out to do after that trip. Like, okay, you know what? I need to sort of like establish myself and just start building networks, building relationships, building bridges, and that was the mission. And yeah, how could I put it? I feel like that trip,
Yeah.
I saw more than enough to make my prefrontal cortex open in terms of how I'm meant to move in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Because there's just a way you're meant to move, and there's a way you're meant to carry yourself, and if you don't, people can easily tell that you're not from around there, and they could take advantage of you and stuff like that. So I had to wisen up very quick. Very, very quick.
Yeah, because Ghana and Nigeria are two completely different places.
So that period. So when I went back in 2013, I was going to Ghana a lot.
Yeah.
So me and Wiz would go to Ghana for like, I don't know, like the weekend or whatever, chill with R2Bs, come back.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because I know you asked how did I immerse myself in it, but I think I was just putting myself in the deep end.
Yeah.
I was going back a lot more, while a lot of the UK guys were sort of here and didn't, I don't know if they were scared or whatever, right? But I just had no fear. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go and, you know, enter Ghana, go and enter Lagos. If I have to go to South Africa, if I have to go to Kenya, I'm going. Yeah. And I just started learning over time. I started discovering a lot more of myself internally, who I am.
Yeah.
And the more I went back, the closer I got connected with my roots. So I started reconnecting with my roots on my mum's side, on my dad's side, and just started understanding myself a lot more. Wow. And that's how, yeah.
Do you feel like that time gave you the confidence to be like, okay, I can be a producer and an artist?
No.
Really?
No.
So when did that happen then?
So during that period, right, I was doing a lot of production, and yeah, there were moments where I thought, you know what, this artist thing, it's not, maybe I could do it. But I would see the stress that my peers would go through, like
I don't want it.
my artist friends. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I like to live a quiet life, and you know, I don't think this is for me. Yeah. Then I think I started to notice the artists who had discovered their purpose and who knew how to use it, right? And I think that's when my attitude towards even being an artist started to change. Like, hold on a second, I can actually influence people. I can actually be a voice of good. I can actually, like, my voice can go way further. Yeah. Do you understand? I have a lot more influence. And I think that's what made me, you know, loosen up to the idea a little bit. Yeah. In terms of when it happened, probably like 2015, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the turning point?
What was the turning point?
Yeah.
I think after I'd finished, so 2015, I worked on Runtown's album. Mm-hmm. 2014, 2015, I worked on Runtown's album. Then after that, I did Wande Cole's album, executive produced that. And I think it was just the experience that I had from working on those projects that just gave me a little bit of confidence boost. Like, you know what? Maybe I should try it because I can write. Yeah. Right? And I've always known that the song is just the most important part of music, right? this is, which is why I feel like songwriters should get a lot more
More
credit, a lot more, I feel like producers get credit, now, but songwriters are special.
Very, very special.
And yeah, I feel like that was the turning point. I felt like I had something to say, or I had a different perspective to present to the world musically.
Yeah.
So I always knew that, okay, cool. I'm capable of stepping out of myself and producing one sound for Wizkid.
Yeah.
Or one sound for Wande Cole, or one sound for Anato C, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I think what excited me the most was being able to sit down and conceptualize like my own sound.
Yeah.
My own, like this room, right?
Yeah.
Somebody designed this room for it to feel like this.
Yep.
If they didn't, it would just be plain. Do you understand? So I had to sit down and figure out like what world do I want to build, like through music and through songwriting and through art direction.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the most exciting part for me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I grew up, studying Pharrell and how he was able to merge his art with his music, the same way Kanye did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was excited about that part.
Yeah, and you did it yourself.
And I just gingered. But you see, balancing an artist and a producer.
Yeah, how is that?
If you don't have a strong mind, you will go crazy.
Why'd you say that? Because
it's the balancing of the two worlds is insane. Right? Producers, it's cool. You can just do your thing, right? And there's no ego that comes with being a producer. There's nothing that you have to put on, right? But when you're an artist, there's just you work with a lot of artists. So I know you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot that comes with being an artist, right? The egos, whether you feel like you have to put it on or not, right? There's just something there that you feel like, oh man, I have to step into artist mode now, right? And that was always hard for me. Yeah. Because I was always reluctant of being in the limelight. So I had to get used to being okay with being in the limelight, right? That it's, it's okay, Maleek, you can have the cameras on you, it's not gonna feel corny. Because coming from South London, right? We think everything's corny. Do you understand? So I had to go through that stage of like, guy, you're a brand, you have to promote yourself, yeah.
But what gave you the confidence to be like, okay, I can do this now? Because you also mentioned earlier about like people understanding their God-given destiny.
I think, yes, it's funny you said that. So for me, just having God gave me that confidence, because you see, once you figure out what your purpose is in life, everything else is just so easy. Do you understand? Yeah. It's like you set a sat nav. You know the route that this sat nav is going to take you.
Yep.
Right? And any detours or any distractions, your subconscious is already like ready to block that out because it's not on your route.
Yep.
And I think for me, when I had that click was when I figured out that, okay, you know what, this is my purpose.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to use to change everything, to change every situation. Like my middle name means Okwala, and that means rope of wealth.
Wow, I love that.
Right? So do with that what you will.
I'm supposed to be here.
I'm trying to serve purpose.
Yeah, no, I love that. Have you always had a really strong connection with God then and relationship?
Yeah, man, like my mom, praying mom. Yeah. Do you understand? And I come from like a very, how can I call it, mixed family. I grew up like in a very Muslim dominated family. My dad, and obviously my mom, I got raised in the church, growing up with my mom, and like faith has always been super important. Just understanding that there's a creator, right? Mm-hmm. And I've this is gonna sound so controversial, right? But I would rather be I would rather have the creator behind my back.
Absolutely.
Rather than the creation behind my back.
This is
Do
it.
you understand? So I feel like these are the things that, you know, that gave me the confidence, and it's so crazy. Like when you become successful and you go out in the world and you meet other people, superstars that you've idolized, and you understand that these guys have very similar mindsets.
Yep.
Do you understand? These guys had to because you can't, to be great and on that level and to stay there, man, you just have to just be aware that there's something out there that's bigger than you and acknowledge it, you know? And that was it for me. And I feel like that helps me become the person that I am today.
Yeah.
Help keep me grounded. Some of the crazy stuff that, would be normal to do as an artist.
Yeah.
Like I try and steer away from. Do you understand?
You're like, is this aligned with my purpose? No.
Yeah. Sometimes the boring life is the good way, you know.
Yeah, sometimes.
Certainly.
Is that the way that God wants you to be doing things?
Obviously, I had my moments, because you're in the music industry, I had my moments, right? But I'm just in terms of knowing how to just keeping on that straight line and knowing how to take yourself back into course, right? That's what helped me.
And I love that.
That's what helps me.
And I love that you were in a mixed religious household.
Yeah.
And you still knew that God was in the center of that.
Yeah.
And allowed you to have your own relationship with him, which 100%. I think is incredible. And him just continue to keep you on the right path.
Yeah.
I think that's can be hard, especially just understanding your own relationship. I think it's amazing that you just stayed on it and God has been able to guide you. It's funny that you said about, I guess, the GPRS or the sat nav.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a lot of the time when you are a believer of God, you're like, if I take this path, am I going to go back? And God will always bring you onto the right path.
100%.
So as much as you might have been like, oh, I don't know if I want to be an artist, it was always something that God destined for you, but maybe had to make you a producer first to build your confidence and then get to an artist.
Yeah.
We need you as an artist, so I'm glad.
No,
I'm glad that
I feel like if I would have gone straight into being an artist, I would have been a different kind of person.
Yeah.
So I had to go through that process first, and like in hindsight, now I understand.
Yeah, you always have to go through things, and then at the end, you're like, okay, that makes total sense. Yeah. So your debut album is finally here.
Yes.
What does that body of work represent to you?
Man, growth. Falling in love was enough. Just represents growth.
Yeah.
For me, let me just give the analogy that I've been describing, right?
Yeah.
So my first project, Last Days of Summer, was the iPhone one. So that was my expression of my mind, the way my mind is at that point in time, that stage of my life. I was intentional about the colors, the moods, the aesthetics, how it made you feel. Then, by the time I got to the next EP, First Days of Winter, I'd already gone through just life.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And my heart had seen some shaggy. So that's why you have songs like Big Colin and Hair. So I was super intentional with just the art direction, the colors, the moods again. And by the time I got to 2020, which was lockdown period, and I released Isolation with mixtape. Even that mixtape, right? I'm like, some people get upset when I have that attitude towards that mixtape.
Why didn't you like it?
It was, to me, it's like an intermission. It was like an intermission.
Yeah.
Because originally I was supposed to put out my album during that period, then lockdown came.
Okay.
So I thought, you know what, let me give the fans something. And also I feel like I'd reached a stage where I was not had a creative block, but I was trying to find or rediscover my passion again. which is kind of why I took a little break during that period as well. Went back to Lagos, got into a little bit of farming, and I felt like I rediscovered like the next level of my purpose again, right?
Oh wow.
So I started putting pieces together. Berry's room, my imprint. I went away and set that up, and I started conceptualizing it to be the entity that I've always imagined it being. But before then, I had to get back to the music.
Yes.
So, like I said, if only love was enough, it took me a while to even decide to call it that.
How did you come up with the name? I asked you all the hard questions.
No, because do you know what, right? When you get older, you get more mature, right? You start to understand that. Yes, love is important. Yes, we know if we even talk in the context of God is love, yes, right?
Yeah.
But it goes deeper than that. It's emotional intelligence, it's communication, there's just so many aspects of love. And if we want to break down the different types of love, there's eros love, there's phileo, there's agape love, right? This is the whole point of the question. If only love was enough, right? And I feel like it represents where we are today in society.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just people are very how can I put it? Lovers of themselves, self-centered.
That could be a whole nother hour.
Right? Which is not a bad thing, right? But the whole idea of love is to be selfless.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And even that the concept of unconditional love, like, man, does it really exist? Like, is it only for my mums, like they truly say, or whatever?
For God.
Yeah. And is it, do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's why I mentioned the different types of love, the eros love and the agape love, and like how can you understand unconditional love if do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I do.
So I wanted it to be a conversation starter. And yeah, like that's one of the main reasons I wanted it to be a conversation starter. And if I ask you the question, right, if love is truly enough, would you allow your partner to propose would you accept if your partner proposes with a gummy ring? No, I'm asking you. No. See how you haven't even said anything.
I haven't said anything.
You're speechless, right?
Yeah.
A gummy ring,
But what if that's what they can afford?
That's what I'm saying. But you're gonna accept it. See how you're. Hey God, I don't cause trouble today.
You're gonna cause trouble. You're gonna cause trouble. The thing is, unconditional love. I totally get it. And I think that's why we have to look to God for unconditional love, because I think now in society, the definition of love is
different.
How many bags can someone buy? Like, it's not unconditional in the way that you said, emotionally intelligent, communication, caring for that person. We're supposed to be selfless. So I think now we're kind of being not trained, but the view of love is completely different.
Like transactional, basically.
Yeah, it's very transactional. From when our parents were growing up, love was you are there through thick and thin. Like the vows that you say when you get married to someone is now very much like, what can they give you, what access, all that stuff. And it's completely changed. And I think it's really detrimental to society.
100%.
So I get it, and I think it's such a great conversation.
Like where's that Donald Jones love? Where's that?
We need to bring it back. We need that.
Oh man, that Joe, that Tyrese. Come on, man. But I know like the world is a different place now. Even the way people receive love and just like the world is a different place now.
Yeah, but we also don't love ourselves enough. That's the other problem.
Right. So yeah, like it's look at.
Yep.
That's what I mean when I say it's a conversation starter.
Fantastic album name.
And I wanted just to have, something on there for everyone. There's a look. It's a blend of Afro R&B,
Yeah.
like a perfect blend of Afro R&B.
And I love it. How important was it for you to have all the collaborators in the room when you were doing this album?
Yeah, I feel like that's an element of music or music creation that's sort of been missing for a while, because obviously when the digital age came, and you could just send someone stems and it's just convenient. But there's just magic when you're in the studio with the artist and you're working on the actual song. You can bounce off each other's energies. You literally know, you can see their emotion when they're saying certain lyrics. Like, it's just fun. And the song just always sounds better that way. It always sounds, I don't know why, but it just always sounds better. Yeah.
I love, one of the things that I love watching is people in the studio making my favorite songs. So I think sometimes like the element's been taken away now, like you said, because people can just send stems and then you can go on the beat and then send it back. So I think it's really great, and you can tell with the body of work that there was love in it, and you guys were in the room. I love that. Well, we was first talking about at the beginning of the conversation about your roots and growing up in South London. You can hear that whether it's like reggae and R&B. How important was it for you on your debut album to have those elements on there?
It's important for me because I always feel like every project that I do is a chance for me to showcase what I can do. Right. So, which is why I like my projects they always sound super experimental, because I'm always trying to push the boundary sonically, right? So yeah, it's literally like a poster of, I'm Maleek Berry, this is what I'm capable of. Do you understand?
Love that,
Like, I can make reggae, I can make Afrobeats, I can make R&B, I can make hip hop, whatever, and still make it sound like me. Yeah. And obviously, like, just showing diversity and showing range. And the music industry is just a whole lot more, like, the general listener now, a lot more smarter. Can't fool them.
Like, this is not you.
Yeah, you can't fool them anymore. So, like, yeah, I wanted to make sure that there was something on there for everyone.
I love that. And I think there's a couple of tracks that have the vulnerability that we were talking about earlier. So like The Pain and My Body. How did you build the approach to kind of have that on the album, that emotional range? How was that for you?
Man, it wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more annoyed about, like, the real deep R&B stuff that didn't make the album. Like,
how come it didn't make the album?
I had like slow jams and stuff.
So why did you not give that? Why did you not give it to us?
No, because obviously, you got a team and everyone's like putting their thoughts together, and we gotta have some up tempo in there, and I hear it. So like towards the completion of the album, I went to Lagos, and that's how I had to finish up a lot of like the up tempo jams, get some live instruments. Because the album was very, very R&B before. Like, very R&B. I'm talking like very... I was trying to take it like to Jenny Francis Slow Down Zone level.
I mean, Valentine's Day next year, you could do a little EP for us.
I could.
I love that. So, I mean, I love that you do still love R&B. So I think a lot of people might stay away from R&B because of it not being as quote unquote successful as other genres. So I still love that you have that love for that.
I feel like there's R&B in everything. There's R&B in there's R&B in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's R&B in everything.
What track on the album challenged you the most?
Ooh. Wow, that's a good question. Maybe All Over You.
Why?
Because those notes were high, man.
I was going to say some emotion. You were like, no, the notes were high.
Those notes were high, man. Like, boy, like, see, when I go and perform that live, I have to like think twice.
Back in track.
But yeah, that was Shouts out to Legendary Beats as well, the producers of that. Yeah, that was that, and I say To the Morning as well, because I mean I haven't done a song like that before. I've produced a song like that for other artists,
But you haven't.
but I haven't done it for myself.
How was that for you then?
Man, I'm glad I did it, because now I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I can do it again.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But I'm just, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Then, I mean, if I was to add another one, maybe Turning Up. A lot of people say, oh, that's like a Maleek Berry sound, but man, that beat wasn't easy to make.
Really?
Like what? Like to get that swing on Turning Up, like it's literally, how could I? There's like a sound for that bounce. I'm not too sure if they call it like Philly. It's like Philly slugging. Like there's this, it's like it's delayed, but it's on beat. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that was like the hardest probably beat to make and complete. But when I finished, I was so proud of myself.
Yeah, it's great. Did you make that here in Lagos?
No, I made it here.
It's a great song.
Thank you.
You have your own label.
Yeah.
Berry's Room. Congratulations, firstly.
Thank you.
You have like obviously your full creative control and everything.
Yes.
What are your biggest challenges and rewards like being independent and having your own label?
Being independent is not easy, man. Like, like you really gotta love what you do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, how can I put it? So, being independent and being signed is like being on a major label is basically, quote unquote, you're with all of the cool kids in school.
I never thought about it like that. Okay, yeah.
But if you're independent, right? For you to be really hot independent, you gotta be like the coolest kid in the school. Do you understand?
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. So like, wow, who's that guy over there? Why is he so different? Why is he not with us over here?
Yep.
He must be really. And I feel like that's the only way to stand out as an independent artist. You gotta have your own unique sound. You gotta have your own unique sound. You've got to just continue pushing boundaries. You know, it's a lot of work. It's you gotta be a lot more attentive, but it's freeing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because the creative control, I can make whatever type of music I want.
And no one can tell you anything.
I can, you know?
Yeah.
That freedom is amazing. And for me, I've always sort of like been a fan of the idea of independence and just owning your creativity. I always advise like my younger artists don't go and follow me.
But
don't follow me unless you have the right team and the right mentors. Yeah. Do you understand?
Do you mentor any artists?
I advise a lot of younger artists. I want to start mentoring them.
Yeah.
Which is obviously like the next phase of like my career and where I want to head to, what I want to do with Berry's Room.
Yeah.
But I just, even the whole concept of mentoring, like, I don't see myself as, I've done enough to be mentoring someone.
You
like,
absolutely have.
because I just have a mentality, you know, that I always have to be a student. I always have to be learning. And I learned that from Pharrell.
Yeah.
You stay childlike and you remain a genius.
Yeah, but then you have to pass on your knowledge.
You have to pass on the knowledge, 100%.
And you've done a lot, so you can't say that you're not in the space to mentor someone. I'm not having that.
Okay.
I'm not having
if you
that.
say, you know. But yeah, I feel like 100%, that's something that I have a passion for. And one of the main reasons why I started Berry's Room, because I can look at a younger artist, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even need to hear their music. I already know what they should look like, what they're supposed to look like just by how they carry themselves. Once I hear their music, I already know I could see their entire career timeline.
That's a gift.
Maybe.
That is a gift.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I hear one song, I can tell their range, what's possible, what's not possible. You know, so maybe it's a gift. Maybe it's a gift.
Maybe you need to do Berry's camp. Because if you have that.
Yes.
That is something a very special gift.
100%. I've it's happened so many times, right, that I'm just like, yeah, no, I need to start, now start giving
Berry's
back and
camp.
bringing my own people.
That's what I'm saying. You have to. Berry's room.
No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, you have to.
We're gonna do it.
Afrobeats is a global phenomenon now, right?
Mm.
It's changed since you started. Like
Yeah.
it's on the main stage.
Yeah.
What role do you see yourself having, like pushing it forward?
Right.
Because you've been a big part of it, by the way. So don't try and downplay anything.
No, in terms of pushing it forward, I just feel like there needs to be just a lot more of us owning our ish and just a lot. How can I put it? We just need to own. We need to own it more.
Yeah.
And protect it more. And one of the main things that I'm going to be a champion of is bringing better quote unquote songwriting into the industry, right? Because I feel like that's what's going to allow us to compete with the hip hop or the country or the R&B that have been around for. Do you understand? We can argue that quote unquote Afrobeat is older than all of them.
Yeah.
Right? But in terms of the iteration that we have now of our sound, I feel like once we add that element of exceptional songwriting to the mix, man, like we're gonna be around here for a long, long time. Like a long, long time. And one thing that is important to me, I want to be able to see Afrobeat artists performing like at the age that Rolling Stones are performing.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
True.
That's when I know that, okay, you know what? We've actually done it. We've actually done it.
I never thought about that.
Because there's even a perception like of hip hop, right? That, after you reach a certain age,
you get to 15 and you have to,
But like Jay-Z will probably out rap half of these guys, like, to be honest.
He wants to drop an album tomorrow.
Do you get what I mean? So I feel like there just needs to be more of that and just more of us cradling our culture more and valuing it more and it's worth a whole lot more than we think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's worth a whole lot more than we think. So that's me just continuing to champion good music and good songs.
Good, okay.
If I'm gonna, have my own little input.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. You absolutely have to. Was there any moments that your faith was tested during your career?
Plenty times.
Yeah.
Plenty times. I feel like if your faith isn't tested, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens so many times. Like I've had moments where I felt like, I wanted to just quit music. When you have your periods where you're putting out music and it's not reaching where you want it to reach or whatever, and you have to step out of those moments and realize why you're doing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? It's once you get to the mindset that of realizing that this is bigger than you, man, you snap out of those moments quick. Yeah. You snap out of those moments quick. Yeah.
You just have to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's just a moment. I'm
just
going to be okay.
Literally.
And then do it. I got one more question for you.
Uh-huh.
If someone was to look back in your career in 10 years, what would you want them to say?
Wow. Excellence.
Yep.
And how did he do that? It could have only been God.
Oh.
See, I'm a big fan of of wins, that
are from God.
Do you understand? Like when you look at it, like this doesn't make sense. Like how did this person achieve this thing? Like I'm a big fan of those kind of wins. Yeah. Where
I love that.
No one can take the credit.
Because we can't lean on your own understanding,
Yeah.
because when you do, it doesn't make
I'm
sense.
telling you.
And that's why you know it's from God.
100.
This has been so great. Congrats on everything.
Thank you.
How do people find you on socials?
Oh man, I'm all over socials. Maleek Berry, Twitter, Instagram, all the socials, Snapchat, TikTok. Maleek Berry. Subscribe to my YouTube.
Yes.
Maleek Berry.
Subscribe. And then one song that everyone should listen to. One new and one old. One from the album, and then one old one.
Okay. One new one on the album. Listen to Maleek Berry, Situation, featuring Wizkid. And one old one. Upon My Mind.
Oh.
Yeah, Upon My Mind. Go listen to Upon My
That's
Mind by Maleek Berry. Yeah.
Hey, thank you again.
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed this so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. We all go through ups and downs, so I hope this episode brought some comfort to you. Remember, don't get complacent during your blessings and do not give up during your battles. Please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. I'm Sheniece Charway, and you just listened to Battles and Blessings.